Hey there, folks. Hey, Bill O'Leary here, coming to you live as part of our weekly series we call our Thirsty Thursday series. So it's where I go live and talk about a different topic I run across in my law practice, where I focus on estate planning, wills and trust, and elder law, probate, and so forth, guardianship, all of that stuff. And my firm is Legacy Planning Law Group. Hey, we're located in Jacksonville, Florida. So if you're thirsting for knowledge and information, you've come to the right place. So today I want to talk about a topic. It actually came up a few days ago in the form of a question from a client about health savings accounts, HSAs for short, and how they work. And so I want to talk about how you can take tax-free withdrawals, take money out of your HSA tax-free. And so, first of all, HSA, it stands for a health savings account. I have to tell you, it's one of the best tax breaks around. So if you first of all have a health insurance plan that has a very high deductible, the technical term for that is a qualifying high deductible health plan. You know, these people in Washington love to use these fancy names. But if you have that high deductible health plan, you can open an HSA. And when you do, you get three tax breaks. Some call it sort of a triple tax advantage. The first is you can make what are called tax deductible contributions. I'll talk about that. Contributions where you get a tax deduction. Two, tax-free growth. So once the money is contributed to the account, it grows tax-free. And then three, tax-free withdrawals for qualified medical expenses. So what this means is you can potentially lower your current tax bill, grow your savings tax-free, and access those funds later for healthcare costs, all without incurring taxes. Sort of the triple whammy. So let's talk about that first of the three tax breaks of an HSA. So you can make a contribution to an HSA that is deductible on your taxes, meaning you can take a tax deduction. And oh, by the way, there are no income limits in order to make that contribution and get that tax deduction. So, in other words, you can basically get a really nice deduction off your taxes for the contribution you make, regardless of how much income you have. Now, it's important to realize, though, that you can't just put like oodles of money into an HSA. There are limits, contribution limits that apply. So, for an individual person with an individual health plan, you can contribute up to $4,300 per year. That's the limit that applies in the year 2025. That is going to go up next year, 2026. We don't know what that increase is going to be. The limit for family coverage is $8,550 for the year. And by the way, people that are 55 and over can contribute an additional $1,000 on top. We call that a catch-up contribution. So that's the first tax break, making a contribution to an HSA where you will get a tax break. Second, the second sort of tax advantage, the money you put into an HSA is going to grow tax-free as long as you pull it out of the account later for certain types of medical expenses. That's the catch. You can't take the money out and pay for a vacation. You've got to pull it out for medical expenses. If you do, then that initial contribution that maybe has grown over a number of years, that growth is tax-free. And then for the third tax break, which is really the focus of this video, once you make a contribution to an HSA, you can then make tax-free withdrawals from your account to pay for certain types of medical expenses. The technical term is qualified medical expenses. Again, there goes Washington again. Now, qualified medical expenses, it means more than just doctor bills. It means more than what you might think. So these qualified medical expenses can include expenses that would basically generally qualify for the medical expense tax deduction under the tax code. So that means you can take a withdrawal from your HSA tax-free to pay for not only sort of more traditional medical expenses like doctor bills, hospital bills, but also things like medical supplies, maybe prescription payments, dental care, vision care, very important, chiropractic expenses. So it is broader, these expenses, it's broader than you might think. You can also take a tax-free distribution or withdrawal from your HSA to pay for your spouse's medical expenses or your child's medical expenses, even if they're not covered by your high deductible plan. And check this out. You can take a distribution or a withdrawal from your HSA tax-free and penalty-free to pay for medical expenses that you incurred in a prior year, as long as the expenses were incurred after you established the HSA account. That means you don't have to make an HSA withdrawal every time you have a medical expense. And instead, maybe the wiser thing to do is that you pay those medical expenses sort of out of your own pocket with personal funds and let the money in the HSA account grow tax-free, you see. And then you can reimburse yourself later, in a later year, for the expenses you incurred now. And the reason for doing that is you leave the money in the account to grow tax-free. So when you pull it out later to reimburse yourself for an expense that maybe you incurred 3, 4, 5 years prior, you're pulling that money out of a much larger pool of money that has grown tax-free. Okay, makes sense? Now, even if you no longer have a high deductible health plan and you're no longer contributing to your HSA, you can still keep that HSA account in place and continue to take sort of tax-free withdrawals for your, again, qualified medical expenses for both you, your spouse, and your dependents. Now, you should know this. You can no longer contribute any new money into an HSA once you are enrolled in Medicare, usually when you turn 65. However, let's say you've had an HSA for a while, you turn 65, can't put any new money in, but you don't have to sort of close out the account. You can keep the account and you can then still take tax-free distributions for your qualified medical expenses that you incur after age 65. Now, a couple of other things. When you reach age 65, you also get some new benefits with your HSA that you don't have prior to 65. So before 65, in terms of those qualified medical expenses, those do not include insurance premiums. So you can't take money out of your HSA to pay insurance premiums. However, if you're age 65 or older and enrolled in Medicare, you can use the money in your HSA tax-free to pay for most Medicare insurance premiums, supplemental insurance, and so forth. One last thing, after you die, if your HSA beneficiary is your spouse, he or she can sort of continue the HSA in his or her name and can continue to access the funds and use the money to pay for qualified expenses, medical expenses that will be tax-free. And again, it'd be tax-free to your surviving spouse just as it would to you. Hey, if you'd like to know a little bit more about sort of how HSA works, how it can be incorporated into an overall estate plan, and you want to sort of talk to us about it, we would love to do so. We encourage you to schedule a discovery phone call with our team. It's 15, 20 minutes. It's a free call. And basically, booking your call could not be any easier. You can either go to our website, Legacy Planning Law Group. There's a book your free call button on the homepage, and any interior pages also have that button. Click on it. Takes you to our booking calendar. Pick the day and time that works for you, and my team will jump on the call. Or if you're watching this video on YouTube, our YouTube channel, then you can book it another way. So appearing at the bottom of this video is a pop-up box. Click on it, takes you to the same booking calendar. If you've enjoyed this video, we would ask that you like it, and better yet, share it with your friends. And speaking of that YouTube channel, do subscribe. We're getting more and more subscribers and new content put up all the time. So I hope you've enjoyed this talk about taking tax-free withdrawals from your health savings account. I'm going to be back next Thursday at about the same time with another Thirsty Thursday topic. Different topic, same goal, to quench your thirst for knowledge. So, Bill O'Leary, signing off for now. On behalf of everybody here, we call ourselves Team Legacy. Thank you for spending a few minutes with us. And as always, go make it a great day and a better world.